In a peaceful village, nestled between gentle hills and lush green fields, lived an old woman named Hara. Her little cottage stood quietly at the edge of the village, surrounded by an old wooden fence that creaked softly in the wind. A large mango tree cast shade over the garden where she grew fragrant herbs and vegetables. Although she had no children and her husband had passed away long ago, Hara never truly felt lonely. Because she had Chicky. Chicky was no ordinary hen. She was plump, with smooth brown feathers and a small white patch on her chest. She followed Hara everywhere, chirping softly as if chatting with her. They made an adorable pair, the old lady walking slowly with her cane and Chicky waddling beside her like a tiny loyal friend. Villagers often smiled at the sight of them strolling along the narrow path. That scene had become a familiar part of daily life, the old woman and her Chicky moving gently through the world. Each morning, as the first sunlight painted the sky pink, Chicky would lay one egg. Hara would gently pick it up, cradle it in her wrinkled hands, and whisper, "One is enough, my dear. May we always have just what we need." And so they lived, simply, peacefully, and joyfully. One morning, something strange happened. As Hara stepped into the garden to collect the daily egg, she stopped. Chicky had laid 2 eggs. Hara blinked, looked again, then smiled softly. "2 eggs? Oh, how generous you are today." An egg inside to cook for her meal, and decided to bring the second one to the village market. She didn't ask for much, just enough to trade for a handful of rice and a small piece of jaggery, enough to add a little flavor to her humble meal. But the wonder didn't end there. The next day, Chicky laid 2 eggs again, and the next, and the next. What was once a simple morning gift had now become a little extra each day. The villagers began to notice and offered their advice. "You should sell both eggs," said one. "Feed Chicky more, maybe she'll lay 3 next time," another said excitedly. "Think bigger, get 10 hens, start a farm, become rich." But Hara only smiled. "One for me, one to share, that's enough," she replied gently. The second egg wasn't always taken to the market. Some days she gave it to a poor neighbor. Some days to the children walking to school. Often, she left an egg quietly on someone's doorstep without a note or a word. Slowly, people began calling her lovingly, Egg Hara. Then the monsoon came. Rain poured endlessly for days. Little streams became rivers, flooding fields and sweeping away crops. Firewood got soaked, rice was drowned, and the village hens, every last one of them, stopped laying due to cold and hunger. Except Chicky. Chicky remained calm and steady, laying 2 eggs a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. Thanks to her careful and thoughtful nature, Hara had already boiled, pickled, and preserved many eggs beforehand. She hadn't stored them for herself. She kept them to share when the time came. Now, when the village faced scarcity, Hara gently brought her preserved eggs from house to house, to cold kitchens, to waiting bellies. She never asked for anything. No thanks, no return, no repayment. One day, a group of people came to her door, puzzled. "Why didn't you sell more when you had the chance? Why didn't you seize the opportunity to get rich? Expand, trade, invest?" Hara looked up at them with gentle, slightly tired eyes full of love. "Having more doesn't always mean chasing more," she said slowly. "Sometimes, enough means loving what you already have and sharing it when others need it." She looked down at Chicky, who was now curled peacefully at her feet, eyes half closed, softly clucking in agreement. Hara bent down, stroked Chicky's back, and smiled tenderly. "I took only what I needed," she said. "The rest was a gift, and gifts should be shared with love." Her words weren't loud or grand, but they drifted gently across the fields like the breeze after rain. They weren't an excuse. They were a philosophy. Simple, quiet, steady. Hara didn't need much to be happy. She didn't need fame or wealth or to prove herself. To her, a morning egg, a patch of green garden, and a faithful little hen were enough. And that enough became true abundance. In the hardest of days, when others were starving, Hara wasn't rich in money, but in heart. Not wealthy in goods, but in love. When the world was busy grabbing, hoarding, and rushing, she chose to share and stay still. Her story makes us pause and reflect. Do we truly need more to feel satisfied? Or is it enough to simply appreciate what we already have and be willing to share it?